Lamborghini has always been about one thing: impact. Cars that hit you with outrageous design, insane performance, and pure undiluted drama. But this, the Urus, is different. It's an SUV, a family car, so on paper, it shouldn't have much impact at all. Yet somehow it's made a bigger splash than any other Lamborghini in history, in the showrooms, on Lamborghini's balance sheet, and also here on the road. And that begs the question, is this the greatest all-round Lamborghini that Lamborghini have ever Lamborghini'd? Oh! My God! This is a fast car! Well, it certainly ticks the performance box. This particular Urus is the 2025 Urus SE, and it's the most powerful Urus yet, with a hybrid powertrain consisting of a 650 horsepower twin turbocharged V8 and a 191 horsepower electric motor, combining to produce up to 800 PS. That puts both the Hurricane and the Aventador to shame. Obviously, it's not as fast as those cars. It's a big, hulking family SUV. But if you're talking about impact, yeah, this thing will impact your neck off your shoulders. It's fast. Its 0 to 62 time of 3.4 seconds puts it firmly into supercar territory. That's quicker than the Countach, Diablo, Gallardo, and will give many modern sports cars a run for their money. Performance impact, check. And then there's the popularity. This thing is flying off the shelves. In 2022, Lamborghini had made 10,000 Uruses, pretty decent number. But fast forward to 2024, and they had built 20,000 Uruses. This thing is incredibly popular. Lamborghini can't build them fast enough. Sales impact, boom. So, still desirable after all these years. And here we are in 2025 with a new Urus, the plug-in hybrid Urus SE. Question is, does it have that all-important visual impact that a Lamborghini needs in order to be considered a true Lambo? Looks-wise, it hasn't really changed that much since its 2018 debut. This SE has new headlights and a slightly different bumper design, but the basic lines and proportions are all very familiar. You do get new wheel designs though. You can get up to 23 inches in size. These are the optional 22s and they'll set you back £4,000. Obviously the rubber isn't free. These Pirellis will set you back £1,300. If you want red brake calipers, that's £900. Up here, we've got black wing mirrors. These are £355. If you want the black spoiler at the back, that's £365. But then get this, right? The roof. If you want that in black, that will cost you £5,100. And it's not even a sunroof, it's just the black roof for £5,000. But it gets crazier because this paintwork is called Grigio Antares. From a distance, it looks kind of grey and basic. But up close, you get these nice little sparkly bits inside there. It looks quite cool, but it costs £13,000. But it doesn't stop there because underneath it, you got this red stripe and this black section. Guess how much that cost? £11,000. That is absolutely mental. If you're paying 24 grand for your bodywork on a Urus, it's time to get your head examined. Right, it's time to look at the back of the Urus. And because this is a plug-in hybrid, you get two charge ports, one on the right and one on the left. This is the petrol port, but annoyingly, you can't open it by pressing it. Because it's a plug-in hybrid, you've got to go back inside the car, push this button, wait for the fuel tank to depressurize, and then it will open. Not a deal breaker, but it is slightly annoying. And no such trouble with the electric charge port around the other side. You press it and it opens up, no problem whatsoever. Here's the other thing worth bearing in mind though. If you want a new Lamborghini Urus, you can only get it as a plug-in hybrid. Lamborghini have discontinued the entry-level Urus S and the Urus Performante. But good news, if you want a full petrol one, you can of course pick up a used example here on Autotrader. Oh, that looks nice. But this Urus SE does have its advantages over the previous models. That 27 kWh battery allows for a range of up to 37 miles, enough to cover the average daily commute in the UK. And that means you might only ever have to rely on the refueling ports on the left. Also, this is cool, it starts up completely silently. Lift that red flap, push the engine start button, and the car's on. It's literally on, it's ready to roll. But if you do want to make some noise, you put it into sport mode or Corsa, and the engine fires up. Put it in neutral and you can even rev it. It doesn't have a soft limiter. So you can go around scaring children, and then when people complain about you scaring children, you put it back into electric mode and say, wasn't me, mate, my Lambo's electric. On the subject of driving modes, we've got a few to play with. This switch lets you cycle between Strada, which is normal road driving, Sport, which is a bit more aggressive, it holds the gears for longer, Corsa, which holds the gears for even longer, gives you higher revs and reduces your traction control. And then there's a whole bunch of different off-road modes as well. We've got Sabbia, Terra, and Neve. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation, but that's sand, rocks, and snow. And on the right-hand side, we have a switch which lets you toggle your EV mode, plus a bunch of buttons to choose how you deploy the battery. The top one is to put it into hybrid mode, that's the normal driving mode. The one below that is your recharge mode, which lets the engine recharge the battery, very wasteful. And then below that, we've got performance mode, which lets the car deploy the electrical energy in the most aggressive way. What you might worry about though is the sound this car makes, and I'm not talking about the V8. Here's something worth noting. This car has a very strange EV noise. You probably won't be able to pick it up on my microphone, but I'll let you listen for a minute. It's kind of a low-pitched hum mixed with a whine. It's sort of a moo 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 moo, and it's very strange. What's really strange though is when you accelerate a bit harder and the V8 kicks in, the electric noise disappears altogether, almost like someone's pressed pause on the recording. And in certain situations, when you're driving, you're kind of going between EV and petrol, and that noise cutting in and out, it's very strange. Some companies have managed to create some really appealing electric car noises, but Lamborghini, they haven't quite worked that out yet. Luckily, in Sport and Corsa mode, the noise does go away. So the solution is, just keep it in Sport or Corsa. Yes, that's better. Good old V8 power. That twin turbo 4 litre. Yeah, man, it sounds really nice. Really nice. It's not perfect. I believe Lamborghini are using some sound augmentation, some synthesizing. We're hearing a little bit of what sounds like exhaust noise coming from the front of the car, and I believe that's the speakers. So it's not ideal, but it still sounds decent. Here's something else that the Urus does that other Lamborghinis have never been able to do, and that's to offer decent storage space back here. The Lambo sports cars are all mid-engine, which means the engine lives behind the driver. But here, look at that. You get a really healthy 454 litres of storage space. That's not bad. I mean, it's not perfect. You don't get any underfloor storage because the batteries are under there. And also this charge cable takes up a reasonable amount of space in the back. And now that I think about it, it is annoying that you can't actually fold those rear seats down from the rear. You've got to run around and open the side doors to do that. So yeah, actually maybe it isn't that good at all. Better than a Hurricane though. And there's also good space in the rear with ample legroom and headroom available. Space for up to 3 passengers, including Isofix for 2 babies, in addition to the 2 it can carry up front. No other Lambo can do that. Right, interior. It's not bad. Here's the thing, right? I've jumped into loads of different Lamborghinis, Hurricanes, Aventadors, and I've never ever sat in one and thought, wow, they don't have the wow factor. But this, you get in it and you think, not wow, but this is pretty decent. It looks cool. Obviously, it's based on an Audi interior, but it's got a few Lambo-specific bits, including these hexagonal ports for your air vents. We've also got loads of Alcantara, including Alcantara on the headlining of the roof. You've got Alcantara up here on the instrument binnacle, plus the Lamborghini badge on the left-hand side to remind your passengers who they're dealing with. And then a few optional bits as well, including this optional steering wheel covered in Alcantara. That's £500. These seats with the Performante trim, that's £2,200. Red seat belts, these are £1,000, but you do get 5 of them, so that's pretty cool. You also get red door handles, optionally for £600, but they do look really nice. Oh yeah, and you can also get ambient lighting in this car for £2,200. Don't get that, they're really not that special, not worth it in my eyes. I'll tell you what is special though, this center console. It looks very Lamborghini. You've got this huge oversized reverse selector in the middle. Very unnecessary, but also very cool. You've got your drive mode selector on the left, your EV strategy on the right hand side, and then in front of all of this, you've got this dedicated screen for your climate controls, which works really well actually. I prefer physical buttons, but that's not bad at all. Plus up here, you've got your infotainment screen and a digital driver display. I wouldn't say it's the most luxurious luxury SUV in the world. It doesn't have, for example, massaging seats. If you want something a bit more premium in that direction, then maybe consider a Bentley Bentayga. But this ain't bad. Right, what about running costs? Well, the Urus SE is arguably better than any Lambo that came before it. Lambo say the hybrid system will propel the car up to 37 miles in EV mode and at speeds of up to 81 miles an hour. Fuel economy is a ludicrous sounding 135 miles per gallon, and it is possible. But that's if you charge the car up every single day from home. If you don't, it's gonna cost you a lot of money. Here's the thing, running around in hybrid mode with a flat battery, you're gonna return around 20 miles per gallon. Running around in hybrid mode while recharging the battery using the V8, that's gonna put you somewhere near single figures. Obviously, that's a lot of cash. I suppose most Urus owners probably won't worry too much though, because let's face it, if you're spending £24,000 on a custom paint job, you're not gonna be too worried about running costs. Honestly, it drives so nicely. The steering is very, very reactive. It's sharp, it turns in extraordinarily well for a car of this size. It's 2.5 tons, but look at this, into this left-hander. It holds its line really nicely. It's actually a lot of fun to drive, and when you press the accelerator, it feels almost rear biased. The back end shoves the front in a way that feels really rewarding. I like that. Let's see how it handles the twisty stuff. Nice. Body control, really good. Stays flat through the corners. Not totally flat, there's a little bit of movement that feels quite natural though, I love that. Yeah, it doesn't feel anywhere near as big as it is. It's quite a dynamic, engaging and responsive car. It puts a smile on your face. The 8-speed gearbox, very responsive. You get a little bit of a kick on the upshift. Not as much as in some cars like the Aston Martin DBX, but it's there. And also it shifts down when you want. A lot of cars won't give you a certain gear at a certain RPM. This does. The other thing that really impresses me about this car are the brakes. Plug-in hybrids can feel really unnatural as they try to blend regenerative braking with physical braking, and you can never tell exactly how much braking force you're going to get based on your inputs, but this is smooth, linear, and strong. That's good. That's really good. There's one more thing I want to show you as well, which you don't get in other previous Lamborghinis, and that is the self-driving mode in this car. So on every VW Group product, including Lamborghinis, you have this button down here on the left, and you press it, and it basically turns on adaptive cruise control. That keeps the car in lane, applies acceleration and braking based on the speed you set or the obstacles in your way, and it will basically steer itself, and it is a game changer. One, it takes the stress out of driving, and two, it feels really cool. I like that. If you like to take the bull by the horns, the Urus will let you do that too. It actually drifts really well. If you find yourself a big enough expanse of concrete or a track and take your brave pills, it will slide with the best of them, chucking the back end out in a way that feels slightly alarming given its size, but once you've done it a few times, you might not want to stop. So, how does the Urus SE stack up against other Lamborghinis? Well, I think the answer is simple. This is a brilliant car that has had a huge impact. Make no mistake, this car has touched more people than any other Lambo. It might not be a Murcielago, Diablo, or Aventador. It might not be the Lambo that sits on the bedroom walls of teenage boys, but it is the Lambo that teenage boys grow up to actually buy. I don't think it's flawless, but credit where it's due. The Urus SE is a fabulous, fabulous car. I'd go as far as to say this is the best, most well-rounded example of the Urus we've ever seen. The best Lambo ever? Maybe not. Most impactful? 1000%.